Hello, everybody on YouTube and all the NFL YouTube prognosticators and NFL fans everywhere. This is Andrew Warren, back here once again, giving you my thoughts for the AFC Championship game and the trade from the Lions and the Rams for Jared Goff and Matthew Stafford and my Super Bowl 55 picks. Check it out. First off, if you're wondering, you're probably thinking, what am I wearing on my head for this beanie? I will explain that to you after my pick. But before I get to my picks and everything, my thoughts about the Matthew Stafford Jared Goff trade from the Rams and the Lions. About that trade, it was the 2 number 1 overall picks, which I believe that hasn't happened since I was gonna say maybe from O.J. Simpson and Steve Spurrier, I think, from the 70s, I think. Something like that. And the 2 number 1 overall picks got traded. So they usually have a lot of blockbuster trades like that. But this one tops them all, I think. You know, from the Super Bowl weekend picks or anything like that. I think that tops everything out on that. But I think it definitely tops off the Alex Smith trade from the Washington Redskins, from the Chiefs to the Redskins, or something like that. And even the one he did before that with the 49ers and Chiefs and stuff like that when they tried to keep on Colin Kaepernick instead. But anyways, the point isn't about that trade. I believe this trade was one of the biggest blockbuster trades before the Super Bowl ever happened. You know, I believe that's the way it happened. But nevertheless, let me just look up about that trade. Anyways, what I'm saying. And no, don't worry about the snowblowers. It's snowing out of my area, and I snowed mine. And then, so that's the one I'm thinking of. That so it's snowing out there. I'm sorry, but anyways, the part of that trade was the multiple number 1 picks from the Rams gave to the Lions, which is the 2022 pick and the 2023 pick, and a third one from 2021 for quarterback Jared Goff. Which, my way of thinking for the Rams, that was one of the most boneheaded trades I would consider doing that. But, anyways, with that being said alone, I think Detroit was probably going to win out that trade. But I think Jared Goff's a really good quarterback, in my way of thinking. So, that's the way I look at it. So, that's how I feel about Jared Goff, though, about that trade. I think that was a big mistake for the Rams that did that. I think that set them back for, I don't know how long, maybe a number of years or something like that. So, at least for the next 3 years or something like that. I think they're probably going to be looking back on this trade. They're probably going to regret that because they could have used those draft picks as to help out Jared Goff out and get some receivers and stuff like that. So, but that's how I feel about that trade. I think that was an improbable move. I think that never happened. So I think it was like, what is he thinking of? But anyways, even though he didn't go to the Pro Bowl last 2 years, though, but I still think he was not a bad pick, though. I don't think he's that bad at all. So I think that's the way I look at it for that. But the way I look at about that trade, I think that was like, why would you want to trade that pick? I mean, not for nothing, but I still think for the Lions, because of that trade, I think for the trade for the Lions, they can use those draft picks to get wide receivers to help Jared Goff out. Or at least get some protection for him, too, for one of those 2 years. So I think that's the way they're going to go with that trade out. But, I still think this is a bad mistake for the Rams. I think this is going to set themselves back up for a lot of years that are not going to be your really good seasons and all that. I think they're going to be one of the worst in the league. They're going to probably rebuild from that, and they're not going to get the draft picks they wanted. That's how I look at it. So, in my point of view, the Detroit Lions won that trade. Definitely. So, that's how I feel about it. Let me know what you thought about that, and we'll go from there. I'll give you my thoughts on my AFC Championship game now, shall we? Well, anyways, I meant NFC Championship games too. But anyway, for both of those games, my thoughts about those games going in for the NFC Championship game, which that was the first game. That was a game that I would believe that the Packers could have set them into overtime if they would have gone for the games and stuff like that. But they had turnovers, but they didn't capitalize on it. That was the big problem. So that was the thing for Green Bay, that they didn't capture on the turnovers like they needed to. That and too many mistakes, and Tom Brady's going to take advantage of it. And that's what Tom Brady and the Bucs did. They took advantage of the Packers' mistakes, and they definitely did what they did. And it goes to show that Tom Brady still got it, and it might one way and out. So, hey, he did say he appreciated what the Patriots did for the past 20 years. I can't complain for that. I appreciated him too, so I'm not gonna dispute that. So I think, but the big key momentum from that game is it was like 2 minutes and 9 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter. They're down by 8, and they go for the kick, which I believe it was down by 8. So, but anyways, they went for the field goal on that instead of going for it on fourth down. I don't get what the philosophy for that was. I don't think I never will. But Aaron Rodgers is probably pissed off. I think he wants out of there, personally. But now the Packers GM said, we're not idiots. We're not trading Rodgers and all that. But you got another backup quarterback you got to replace you. So, I don't know. Man, I don't know what you're thinking on that. So, with their backup quarterback, Love. So they already set up for the future for that. So, but for their backup quarterback, I forget his name, but it's something Love, Yeah. So, but anyways, but Matt LaFleur, I'm gonna say it, and he just did a bad decision on that. So, really bad decision on it. I don't know what to think on that. So, yeah, Jordan Love, that's who it is. But Jordan Love, who they already set up for the future with him, and Matt LaFleur, I would say, he had some explaining to do about going for the kick on fourth down with a little over like 2:09 left to go in the game. I just can't explain that to that. I really can't. I don't know what to think of that, but but my way of view, because of what happened, that's why Tampa Bay is in the Super Bowl and not Green Bay. That's why. Anyways, back on the AFC Championship game. For the AFC Championship game, I think this is a game that, hold on, I had it on me on there. But anyways, the AFC Championship game, I think this was a game that was this crazy, one of the most defensive games I would have saw, pretty much. For both teams, it was a defensive game, but it was one-sided on defense. That was Kansas City. And I have to say this, I gotta say it. Josh Allen, he didn't perform like he was supposed to perform. I mean, he didn't play like he was supposed to play, and that's kind of way Kansas City's defense is really dominant. I just say that. They've been dominant since the end of the season, all the way up to now. So that's the way it goes on that. Patrick Mahomes is pretty good. I'm not going to dispute that, but, on Kansas City's offense. But Kansas City's defense makes energy solid. I mean, what I was going to say, dominated and solidly win the game because of that. And you can tell by the end of the game, though, that Buffalo was really mad, and they could tell they knew it. They knew that, too. But don't get me wrong, I think Buffalo will be back in the playoffs next year. So was Kansas City. I would expect Green Bay to be back in the playoffs, and Tampa Bay, too, if Tom Brady stays. But nevertheless, though, for Buffalo's case, they should have come with a better game plan instead of running the ball. I know you've been really dominant on the run defense, but if you're playing a tough defense like Kansas City, you got to throw the ball a lot more than you run the ball. So anyways, that's the way I look at it for that game. I think that was the game plan. I think their game plan for Buffalo was not the best game plan. They should have just gone with it. And if you're facing Patrick Mahomes, you got to go for everything. Same thing with Tom Brady. If you're playing against Tom Brady, you got to go for everything. So that's the way I look at those two quarterbacks. If you're going against Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes, and that's what Buffalo didn't do. Buffalo did take the chances that they needed to, and they didn't capitalize it. And instead of running the ball a lot, instead of throwing the ball a lot, they ended up running the ball a lot. So that was a big contribution on that, But, don't take nothing for Buffalo. They went pretty far. I didn't expect the way they did. I think early in the year, I expected them to be in the division hunt and probably go to the second round, but I didn't expect to go to the AFC Championship game. So congratulations to the Buffalo Bills on that. So on that one, he had a great year. First champ in the AFC Championship game, I believe, since '93, I think it was. Then since the 1993-94 playoffs, that was something they haven't done in a long time. So congratulations to them. Better luck next year. That's how I look at it for that. So, anyways, that's my thoughts for the week. Now, let's get on to my Super Bowl pick, shall we? Okay, my Super Bowl pick. Yeah, so the way I expected this game is, I expect to be a great defensive game, but I expect to be more of an offensive game, too. So, I expected to have all that going in there and stuff like that, If you have two quarterbacks like Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady in the Super Bowl, it's going to be a gunfight. Just like they did in the AFC Championship game a couple of years ago when Tom Brady beat Patrick Mahomes in that situation. And that's what I expect from this game. I expect to be a similar situation. And I'm going to make a bold prediction, too, after I make my picks. And it's going to be come to my scoring, too. So, anyways, that being said, I believe this is going to be a game that is going to be an offensive explosion. There's going to be a lot of points scored, no matter who gets the ball. I don't think we're going to have any punts in this game. Well, maybe one punt or two here and there, but that's it. You're not going to get anything else. But I expect to be much similar what they did for the AFC Championship game 2 years ago when the Patriots won that game and beat the Rams at Super Bowl 53. That's how I expect this game to be rolling out with that. I think that's going to be a game. It's going to be a high-flying game. But this is Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady's third match up together, I believe it was. Third matchup. So, and this is, don't get me wrong, and this is Tom Brady and Andy Reid facing each other in the Super Bowl for the second time, in which they faced each other in Super Bowl 39 when it was the Patriots and the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Patriots won that game 24-21. So that's another key momentum on them. So Andy Reid's probably thinking, I lost him in Super Bowl 39. How am I going to get him this time? The only difference, the Patriots and Eagles met again in Super Bowl, I believe it was 52. So, and the Eagles won that one. So that's a different topic for another time. But with that being said, for all that, Tom Brady's going to have a game plan, don't never give up, never back down, all that crap, not that crap, but you know what I mean. But Bruce Arians, this is his first Super Bowl. He made it after he lost the NFC Championship game with the Arizona Cardinals a few years back when they lost and almost got to Super Bowl 50 when they lost to Carolina. But now he finally reaches the Super Bowl. And after what Bruce Arians did when replacing Chuck McDonald from cancer, and then he comes in for Arizona, makes them a power contender. All of a sudden, he didn't work out there. He goes to Tampa Bay, turns them around for a number one defense, and gets Tom Brady, and then he gets to the Super Bowl. So, really happy for Bruce Arians on that one. But Andy Reid got a Super Bowl last year. I'm not sure about this time around. And I'll say what I'm going to say right now. I'm taking Tom Brady and Bruce Arians and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as an upset over the Kansas City Chiefs. I'll tell you why. Because on the line, though, the Chiefs are favored by 3 in this game. I'm taking the Buccaneers +3. And over and under, it's 56. I'm going over 56. And my final score in this game, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 37. The Chiefs 31. And both prediction I told you about, that game's going to overtime. So I'm predicting that's going to be an overtime game. And around there, they're going to be tied at 31. Tom Brady gets the ball, goes in for a touchdown game-winning overdrive. Much similar, like he did in Super Bowl 51. That's how I'm gonna go with that. So, anyways, that being said, my other reason why I'm picking Tom Brady and the Bucs, never bet against Tom Brady. Never. Never, 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 never. I don't care if it's on the plus side, on the minus side. If you're going to pick against Tom Brady, you have a lot of guts doing it. Because I'm not going to do it. I never bet against Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. I'm not going to do it now. That's the way I look at it. So anyways, that's my prediction. Once again, Buccaneers over the Kansas City Chiefs. Buccaneers +3. Over and under 56. I'm going over 56. Final score, Buccaneers 37, Chiefs 31 in overtime. All right, shoutouts this week is my good old friend Matt the NFL Fanatic, who made his Super Bowl predictions, which I never really got to look and everything, but I did see that, so I'm going to look into it and all the Super Bowl picks in a bit. So that was the only one I saw. But another night now, if you want to know about this right here, Wicked Axe. It's an axe throwing the building that just built in my area, you know. So anyways, they also have one of these. They have a mask too. I like to wear that. See right here? Get axe. It's an axe throwing league, axe throwing sports bar. And they only have that. They only have like golf simulators and pool. So all that. Anyways, I went down there with a group of guys in there. I'm not an axe throwing guy, but I had a lot of fun doing it. So not gonna get me wrong on that. But anyways, just advertising for them. You know, with the Wicked Axe who just opened up over the weekend near my area. So if you're in the area, you know, come and see Wicked Axe. I'll be having that link down below as well as everyone in the NFL YouTube prognosticator page down below as well in my description area. Until then, this is Andrew Warren signing off, saying stay safe, stay healthy, and you know what? Have fun in the Super Bowl and stay safe doing it, and rock out.